WMSE's Local Live is supported by Club Garibaldi. Located at 2501 South Superior Street in Bayview. Open 7 days a week, Club Garibaldi serves burgers, hot wings, and more, and features live music weekly. For more information and Club Garibaldi's live music events, visit clubgaribaldi.com.
Thanks as always to Club Garibaldi's for their support for Local Live on WMSE. And now, live from the Bob and Genie Friedman Live Performance Studio, we bring you Klassik.
He gon' be free. Sounded like the doo-wop for 2053, but even 100 years before we was struggling for bus seats. And even at 16, couldn't put it at 16. How young black America struggled to just breathe. I ain't asking for silence, I'm just asking for guidance. A true assassin was quietly moving passion entirely. Knew his fashion attire was hard on your sleeve. Modest they bleed out to the streets, but we ain't asked to be departed in that scenario. Scenario, if it ain't worst case, what's the sense of running? We never come in first place in the human race. In the human race, in the human race, from your birthday to the first place. Much noise, making too much, making too much noise. something I play. Oh no, not ever.
Not tryna save for salary. Only salary that I need is a green from the grocery. So I got so much more in store, like a neighborhood grocer. Need to call a broker, need to call Grover. These is elementary like Sesame Street. I like my bread without the sesame seeds. Hey, the recipe be just win it. And if you lose, pick it back up again, girl, you better grin. Just breathe, stretch, shake, let it out. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it out. But don't you make too much noise, don't shout, don't shout, don't. Making too much noise. Won't you keep it quiet? Making too much noise. Ooh. All right, making too much. Won't you keep it down now. Keep it down. Keep it down for the real thing. Yeah, all the fake making too much noise. Can't hear myself think. Oh, y'all go ahead, get your voice. Go ahead, get whoever that you need to. I got me and all that's all I need in the city that I bleed through. See me when I read you, see you. Why I read your message first of all. I ain't mean to read it in the first place. I left it on red on purpose. Cause you was just acting like a jerk on the surface. I'm a surface dweller, been waiting underwater with them sharks, babe. Hey, but I just keep it quiet like I'm told. Just keep it quiet. I get too much more. Won't you keep it quiet? Sometimes you rap and you can't get your words right, and then you gotta speak and everyone's listening in radio land. This is Klassik here. My main man Aram on the guitar, killing it. We got one more for you, and then I think we're gonna talk about some cool things. So thanks for listening, world. Dedicated to anybody ever felt like, what did you see? Tell me you won't regret this. Tell me you mind your heart. Tell me you'll find his blessings. Tell me you're who you are. Tell me you won't forget this. Tell me when times get hard. Tell me you'll learn these lessons. Tell me it's what you want. More. If you need it, I got it, you know. Yeah. Would you bleed, would you die for these goals? You know what you know and you don't. Do you believe in what you dream about? No sir, see your words, they ain't moving, they ain't working for me. Not the type of keep around me. No curves, see your verbs, they ain't moving, they ain't working for me. Like the ice cream machine at Mickey D's when it's 92 degrees, man. They never loved us. Only Ronald we acknowledges Isley. Only Ronald we acknowledges Isley. See, I don't take to the drama much kindly. Really to the drama, I do not respond wisely. It's high season, it's high tide, it's high time. Mix the cranberry with the Henny, this ain't no Mai Tai. Get to the plans very quickly, I'm hitting my stride. Take a stance any different without the limelight. If you hit a grand slam, would you still be the man? If the next morning they ain't make it to the highlight. Welcome to my life. No, the dirty shader trying to pay you with a high life or a high five. But your exposure ain't enough for me to keep my composure. So just meet the composer of this boldest opus. Took my boss over cues from Q and that's Jones. If you didn't catch me hinting, I'm the closest thing to Quincy. Down penitentiary, I sin solitarily, thinking of some new moves to solidarity. Cause everything that's new, well, it's all just scaring me. I don't watch the news cause it's all despair to me. So I look to the you, that's been staring back at me in my reflection when I ask these questions. I look to the you, that's been staring back at me in my reflection when I need direction. Tell me you won't regret this. Tell me you mind your heart. Tell me you'll find these blessings. Tell me who you are. Tell me you won't forget this. Tell me when times get hard. Tell me you'll learn these lessons. Tell me it's you want it all that and more. You need it, I got it, you know. Would you leave, would you die for your goal? There's nothing I won't do for these goals. If you never knew, now you know. If you never knew, now you know. If you never knew, now you know. If you never knew. Yeah, alright. Take it down from the top to the way down low. New sound, new acting brand new on you. You never knew, now you know. If you never knew, now you know. If you never knew, now you know. If you never knew. It's what you want.
WMSE is pleased to support Arte para Todos. Join WMSE along with Milwaukee musicians and artists on April 26th.
You are tuned into WMSE for Local Live, and with us tonight we have Klassik.
Yeah.
How's it going, Kellen?
It's going well. Oh, can you hear me? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Tight.
Yeah, so Kellen, you've got a guitar player with you tonight, Aram.
I do. One of the best,
Very
if not
cool.
the best.
We were just saying he was here for Lily K not too long ago.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Man about town.
you're everywhere. So I feel like you've been doing so many shows lately. You always do so many shows. So what have been your most favorite experiences since the beginning of the new year?
I mean, definitely the MJ show that we just did at Turner. That was super tight. Brittany Be Free, she definitely put her foot in that and organized a heck of a show. And just to be in that sequence of like me doing the Tribe show and then the CV and then being a part of Guthrie, like all of those shows are like super special and awesome to be a part of, and have helped me. It's good to work in those kind of environments where there's a lot of moving pieces, but everyone's on their game, and you really get to pinpoint on like what your strong suit is, or like really find yourself as an artist. Ironically, like working in such a large ensemble, you kind of find out exactly what it is you do best, and then you just like do that thing really well. Mm-hmm. So definitely that show.
Because prior to the Tribe Uncovered, you were going to do an MJ thing, weren't you? And you kind of did an audible into the Tribe.
I did.
Yeah.
I did audible, and I did a little QB sneak to Be Free. I was like, actually, you're much better suited for this. I'm just going to do some rap. We're going to do some Tribe. But that was fun.
What was like the number one thing that you would have had in your MJ Uncovered that Brittany left out?
That's... I don't know, because I feel like your hands are kind of tied, because it has to be like she was limited to the ones that he actually had a hand in writing. So it's like, oh yeah, everyone's like, oh, why didn't you have like Thriller in there? It's like, because you didn't write it,
right?
So you can't put it. It doesn't fit within the context of this. Like it's not just a cover show. So I mean, she hit the ones that like I feel like you would expect to hear. I really can't say that I would change anything, or if I would have even done as well. The transitions and like the way she had everything segmented was just organizational skills far beyond mine.
It was amazingly put together, that's for sure.
Well, she is a teacher, so
Yeah,
that probably helps.
That definitely helps.
yeah, you can tell she's good at organizing things and
Yep.
making things run.
Sat us all down after the run through, had notes.
Yeah.
Everyone take a seat. If you can hear me clap 2 times.
Yep. That's awesome. I feel like too, outside of music, you are always busy doing multiple projects, jobs, just general happenings. What have you all been up to outside of everything?
Man, you know what? Just all kinds of fun stuff. I work at Gibraltar, which is like a cool place in Walker's Point, jazz club, music club.
Yeah.
My buddy Erin runs that. It's pretty cool working there. And then I bartend, like musician stuff, like bartend, work at a couple clubs. And then I work also at the Linden Sculpture Garden. So I'm like starting to do like working on some stuff kind of there, which I can't really say or don't really have fully, but there's some things happening there. So, and then like working with Express Yourself Milwaukee, I just started doing something with their youth band, like working with Dave Wake and all those cool people over there. So as usual, just spreading myself pretty thin and loving every second of it.
Can you tell people a little bit about Express Yourself? What's the goal of that organization?
Oh, I'm gonna get fired now. Let's see if I got this. Just started, guys. Jeez, hot seat. Basically the goal is just to take like these kids and youth. Some of them have kind of like troubling situations. Some of them have been in and out of troubling situations. Some of them just need a place to go, and it's just like focused on helping like these kids or these people have like a creative outlet or something to do, something to occupy their time that like kind of nourishes this creative spirit. And I think something that aligns with their mission statement and with what I do as an artist, that we kind of run parallels, that I think is really important to instill some sense of passion in people. Like I feel like a life lived without passion is a life without purpose, and a life without purpose is,
Yeah. So did you grow up having any kind of program or any outlet like that when you were a kid? Like you went to a really creative school.
Yeah.
Right?
I went to Roosevelt for middle school. I went to High School of the Arts. So I was fortunate enough to like be in those programs pre like major budget cuts. Like we were kind of on the tail end of like really having the full extent of those programs. Mm-hmm. And that's also a big part of like one of my like long-term mission statements is to do all that I can to really, like, I don't want to have to think of it as like me being fortunate or privileged to have had that, but that's what it is. Like I was privileged to have that because that's an opportunity that there's a whole generation of kids that are like slowly getting all of that stripped away. And like for me, it was like normal. It was just like, no, this is what you do. Like, you got like 7 music classes, and then you like go to MISO and then take private lessons at the conservatory. And like I was just always involved, and like being in the arts definitely like crafted just me, like Kellen and that Klassik, like that helped to define who I am and like values and, perseverance and all those great virtues.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask, because a lot of people have loved a lot of the stuff that you've put out, and it's been a while. I mean, you put some stuff up on Bandcamp, mostly some freestyles and stuff. But, people are wondering, when's the next, what's been going on with your recording? Do you have stuff in the works, or what can we expect, or when?
There's an album in the works. So the stuff that I did today, all the stuff is all new stuff. Mm-hmm. Some of it is kind of like free-flowing bones improv thing, but that's kind of at the core of the album. So the album is called Quiet, and it'll be out this year.
Oh, exciting.
I would like fall, because like fall is like my thing, and it gives me the time to kind of like live some of the stuff that's the delay is like really writing. Like I don't force writing. I can't just sit down and be like, I'm going to write this song and this song. Like I really have to, songs, the mood, everything has to be determined by like where I'm at mentally, emotionally, things that are going on. And then like, that's like the outlet. That's the way that I communicate best. So I've been writing more and got a new space where I'm able to like record and rehearse. It's super dope. Able to like rehearse with guys like Aram and the clergy, and just being able to have like rehearsals and record just at home in my living room is a pretty unique thing. So moving to a new spot is really kind of kicking things back in gear. So Quiet is coming, and you guys are getting exclusives of Quiet today, and you'll get some more.
Very excited so far.
Yeah, there's this theme I noticed with noise and quiet in these songs. Have you been experiencing like way too much noise in your life lately? Most people have, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like the perfect. I've pretty much been working on this since the last album, and so it's been almost 3 years. But it's been like I've been through some personal things. I've been through some things that I like struggle with like really hard, and things that really kind of, you go through ups and downs, and the downs, like you either just like call it quits, or like you come out of it and you come out stronger. So I've had a lot of that, and it's just really encouraged me to set boundaries for myself, learning more of my introvert status, which is like ironic, but also pretty common amongst most performers. coming to find.
Mm-hmm.
And so really like treating that like a precious thing, and really guarding that, like really being careful of like the energy that I'm like allowing in, the energy that I'm putting out. And basically the theme of the album is just like, you know, the current state of things. You can look at politically, you can look at like culturally, socially, like internationally. The common theme for me is that the stuff that you get fed the most of, and that's the loudest per se, or the most frequently broadcast, is often like the most nonsensical, or like the most negative, or the most just like brainwashed. It's purposeful. It feels purposeful. And so I decided that with this album, I was going to be purposeful in my intent to like subdue that noise and like let like sounds, like this minimal, I'm not writing as much in this album. And like when I do, it's like specifically placed and leaving lots of space. And that's kind of like the statement of the album, of like leaving space for yourself, leaving space for your fellow human, leaving space for your feelings and your thoughts, and being honest with yourself and others. And it's a thing that I'm learning still myself. So
kind of a lifelong process, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
You know, I just found out. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, man, I thought, you know, I just had my birthday just passed. I just turned 29. And I was like, thinking back, like, man, I graduated high school. I was like, by this time, I just have it all figured out. So kids out there in Radio Land, don't listen to them. It is not true. Don't rush that. Do not let that pressure you. Like, life doesn't start until you're 30. It just doesn't. 20s aren't real. You just find out. Just cut through the mirage and all the nonsense, and just find out what it is you like, and stick to that, and harbor that, and curate that, and you'll be good.
Mm-hmm. I'll co-sign that.
So this new sound and whatnot, I mean, your main audio setup has been your space station, right? Mm-hmm. So currently, with what you're working with, what's your ideal like sound setup for this new record, and what kind of gear are you working with?
The space station and a couple musicians. Mm-hmm. Just really being at home. Like, I've really been sitting with this setup. I record with it. I perform with it. I practice with it. So just really learning the ins and outs and getting the sound out, so that the things that I add onto it, I want to be like very purposeful. Like everything, the reoccurring thing, purpose, intent. So like getting people like Aram, and like working more with sister strings, things that are like complementary, but like letting me still, I've been kind of trying to balance the how much of it is produced, how much of it is electronic, how much is like traditional sound that like people have come to expect from me, how much room do I have, or how much room would I like to make room, how much room would I like to make room for other people, for other musicians, for other sounds, and what are those sounds and what do they need to be. So a lot of that is even just still up in the air. It just kind of has been coming to fruition as the songs unfold and I start hearing different things. But I mean, predominantly it's going to be a lot of just my production, and then some live instrumentation. You'll hear some strings, you'll hear some guitar, some live drums. There'll be some tracks that won't be any like pre-produced things, maybe more so interludes. At least that's where it's at now. Don't quote me on that. More than likely, that's what it'll sound like. That's what my whiteboard looks like right now.
Okay.
So it's constantly evolving as to like who's going to be on, or like how many people are going to be involved in what. Mm-hmm. And can you give us like a little bit of a sneak preview of who you're going to have with you at the Arte show this Friday?
So at Arte, John Harris is going to be on drums, and Ryan Brown is going to be on bass, and Tim Johnson will be on keys and synths, and then I'll be on Space Station. Aram will be across the street, so don't miss that, playing with For the Culture. Mm-hmm. Couldn't snag him for that. We couldn't clone him in time, so. But
in demand.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
So we're just working. We've been kind of getting together as a unit and jamming and kind of getting some things to coagulate and gel, and yeah, that's a little sneak peek.
It's exciting. Going to be a completely different setup from what we've got here, but equally exciting.
Yeah,
and different from anything I've seen you really play before. So very cool.
Different is good, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. unless like your elbow starts like turning a different way. Or like your eyes blink in the opposite direction, then different isn't good. That's you need to go get that checked.
Are you sure?
Well, you don't know what's going on the radio, so maybe that's actually happening.
It's happening right now, guys. You can't see it, but
Well, let's get you back out there for your song Basilica Sunsets. I have a feeling this is a backstory, if you care to share before we go out.
Yeah, we just decided that we were going to do this right now. I just played this for Aram while we were doing sound check. I recorded this song 2 days ago. I live in Bayview, and from where my kitchen window, you can see the Basilica on, is it 6th Street? Is that it's on 6th and Lincoln?
Mm-hmm.
And was watching the sunset like over the dome, and I was like, wow, that's really beautiful. And we have a piano in our kitchen. So then I like went from the kitchen window to the piano and like started playing like what that sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
So the chords that you'll hear are like what that sounded like. And then I went to my living room where all the rest of my gear is set up and like hit record. So this is like as new as it gets.
Very cool.
And I really like this record. So yeah.
Sweet. All right. I'm excited to hear what this sounds like. So Kellen, Klassik, and Aram, we're going to have you go back out to the studio. We're going to let him take it away with one more set. Live from the Bob and Genie Friedman Live Performance Studios, we bring you Klassik.
Sunset, sunset. Sunset, sunset. See the sun rising over the sunset. Yeah. Basilica sunsets. All you think you know this feeling too? One step back, are you just living for the thrill? Are you done yet? Or are you finished mimicking the ones that ain't won yet? They ain't won yet. Yeah. You ain't won yet. Say you take no L's, but you ain't won yet. Look me in my eyes, see that your sunset. Look me in my eyes, you can tell I'm the one yet. Basilica sunsets. All you think you know this feeling too? I'm the one step back, are you just living for the thrill? Are you done yet? Or are you finished mimicking the ones that ain't won yet? They ain't won yet. You ain't won yet. Say you take no L's, but you ain't won yet. You see the sun rising, you know that your sunset. Look me in my eyes, yeah. I feel your energy, your negativity. You try to get rid of me, but your lies are secrecy. You speak like friend to me, but act like enemy. But there's no end in me, I'm just beginning to see. Pull up to the scene like skirt. When they see me win it, know their feelings getting hurt. This ain't a God wink, I've been putting in the work. That's what it looked like when you did it better and you did it first. That's for sure though. Sleeping on the job, that's a no-no. I ain't slept in days, I ain't even taking no-dos. Oh, that's a no-no. I ain't slept in days, I ain't even took a no-dose. No rest for the wicked, baby, but my angels ain't sleeping good either. No rest for the wicked, babe, but my angels ain't sleeping good either. Ain't sleeping good either. Ain't sleeping no, ain't sleeping good either. Yeah, no, your sunset ain't sleeping good either. Yeah, yeah, look me in my eyes now. Basilica sunsets. All you think you know this feeling too? I'm the one step back. Are you just living for the thrill? Are you done yet? Or is you finished been the ones that ain't won yet? You ain't won yet. One yet. Say you take no L's, but you ain't one yet. See the sun rise and you know that the sunset. Look me in my eyes, you can tell no one yet. You try to get rid of me. Your lies aren't secrecy. You speak like friend to me, but act like enemy. There is no enemy. just began. Pull up to the scene like when they see me winning, know their feelings getting hurt. This ain't a God wink, I've been putting in the work. That's what it looked like when you did it better and you did it first. That's what's up. Sleeping on the job, that's a no-no. I ain't slept for days, I ain't even took a no-dose. Sleeping on the job, that's a no-no. No, 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 babe. There's no rest for the wicked, baby. But angels ain't sleeping good either these days. No rest for the wicked, babe. Mama, no rest, no. Basilica sunsets. Oh, you think you know this feeling too? I'm the one step back, or you just living for the thrill? Are you done yet? Or are you finished mimicking the ones that ain't won yet? You ain't won yet. You ain't won yet. Say you take no L's, but you ain't won yet. You see the sunrise and you know that the sunset. Look me in my eyes, you can tell I'm the one yet. Tell I am no one, no one. Keep it down, 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 yeah. Yeah, you see that the sun. And yeah, you see that the sunset. One more time, let them know they ain't done yet. They sound like the sunsets. Oh, you think you know this feeling too? I'm the one step back, or you just living for the thrill? Are you done yet? Or are you finished mimicking the ones that ain't won? You ain't won yet. Yeah, you ain't won yet. No, you ain't. Feeling too, I'm the one step back, or you just living for the thrill? Are you done yet? Or are you finished mimicking the ones that ain't won yet? Ain't won yet. You ain't won yet. See the sunrise and you know that the sunset. Yeah. I feel your energy.
Meaningful arts programming helps youth develop new ways of seeing the world in an
It's a little bit funny.
All right, here we are. This is your song. And got Klassik here. Gonna tell us what he picked for an artist that influences his own work. Who did you go with?
I picked a newer artist. I listen to a lot more, I think, R&B, new R&B, or just like soul kind of guys, girls, everybody. And Daniel Caesar is somebody who's come out recently, and is just like, I think he just has a really dope sound, like a singer-songwriter, a nice level of like polished production, but like he plays guitar as well. The songwriting is just really good. I'm a sucker for like really good melodies, especially like R&B melodies. So it's just got like, it just kind of sits in this pocket, and it's just like this. Like very much so like how Gambino's last record was, like that kind of feel. I love that funkiness of it. So there'll be some of that sound. It's kind of like help shape what I'm doing too. And it's just a really great song.
Cool. Okay, and can you tell me about the guest vocalist on this one?
Callie Uchis, who's also like, she's got a really, really great song with Bootsy Collins and Tyler, the Creator, and it's so funky. It's like her project. I forget the name of her newest project, but also worth a listen. Just super funky, good like writing, harmonies, melody, and just like the grooves are all like real tight. And it's like a nice mix of like what I was saying, like electronic and kind of programmed drums, and then like the right amount of like additional instrumentation. So she's dope in her own right, and Daniel Caesar has like the whole CD kind of just plays front to back pretty well. So
all right, I'm gonna have to find it. It's called Freudian. Came out last year.
It did.
All right, so we're gonna listen to this track from Daniel Caesar. It's called Get You here on WMSE.
Drought and famine, natural disasters. My baby has been around for me. Kingdoms are falling, angels be calling. None of that could ever make me leave. Yeah. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need. Every time I get a bit inside, I feel it. Ooh, who would have thought I'd get you? And when we're making love, your cries, they can be heard from far and wide. It's only the two of us. Everything I need between those thighs. Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all
big thanks to Klassik. We just played Daniel Caesar. That was his pick. Get You. That was an awesome song. Thanks.
Yeah, that was great.
I enjoy it.
I have to check out that album for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's all pretty consistent, like from there, and that's the first song in the album. Like that's you start with that. It's like, all right, okay, I see what this is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So tell people a little bit about your show coming up on Friday.
So the show Friday is going to be the first time of me kind of marrying these ideas like we were talking about of what the one-man show has been the past couple years and what it sounds like adding pieces. And I'm sure that like even throughout the next couple months, it might look different as we figure this out and try things out. And it's like in this like experimental, like I know the sound that I want and I know where there's room for people to come in. So, I mean, Friday will be, I think we'll do some of these songs. Maybe I'll do, I don't make set lists. I heard like, doesn't Jack White not do that either? I saw something where he like doesn't make set lists.
That could be.
Probably.
Sounds like him.
I mean, he's a little cooler than me, but I don't do it for the cool factor. Just for one, I've always had this thing since I was like studying music when I was younger of like, you might call it, some people say it's lazy, but I hated the feeling of like over preparing. Like I like to practice, but I was never one, and like my teachers didn't necessarily like it, but like I wasn't one that was always like I'm putting in hours and hours. Now I'm getting into that. Just with myself and just taking time to just like, I want to make sure I put in a couple hours of just, even if I'm just like messing around and making something. But it's kind of, it feels like unfair to call that practice. I don't know if I would say that what I do is practice. But like not necessarily making a set list for this. We do have one and it has some of these songs and some of those things might change depending on how rehearsal goes tomorrow, but it's like one of those things. It's exciting. It's like equal parts nerve wracking because to go from just working with myself, and that's already a handful of like keeping myself together, and then bringing in other musicians and coordinating schedules and coordinating sounds and making sure things fit well and people are listening, because the prevailing theme of quiet is that you have to listen.
Yeah.
So be ready for anything is what
Mm-hmm.
you're telling people.
You'll have to have some baseball signals too if you're going to change your setup.
Yep. Working on
fly.
those. I think that's all rehearsal tomorrow. There's actually no one's bringing any instruments. We're just like going over hand signals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
But it'll be good. I mean,
Cool.
There'll be live music. There'll be it's going to be pretty much all new stuff. And I think this is the first time that I'm doing a set of this size of just all new stuff. So
Sweet.
yeah, should be good.
It'll be exciting.
I think so.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Where can people find your music if they want to go look you up?
On the usual suspects of the streaming services, predominantly like my first and third album. My first and fourth album. Third album, you'd have to have a hard copy and be lucky. Maybe one day that'll be like worth something. It'd be cool. But yeah, the internet's iamklassik.com. On the social medias, pretty consistent with the I Am Klassik thing. Klassik with the K's and not C's. I think people are finally starting to get that. I haven't encountered. Actually, that's not true. I've been doing this for like 10 years, and there's still something where people are like, "Oh yeah, Klassik. Here's your thing," and it's like KLASSIC, and then you like fill out the jerk. It's like, am I gonna be the guy that's gonna be like, you spelled my name wrong. The performance is off. Because I'm totally not that guy. But people are starting to get it.
It's good. Your
Klassik
name around
with two
town.
K's.
Yeah.
K in the front, K in the back.
Class act.
Class act.
We got it down.
We know.
This message brought to you by.
Well, thanks so much for coming in, playing for us, and talking with us.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's always a good time. Maybe we'll connect again once I got some updates.
Oh,
The
yeah.
actual
sure.
like recorded music. People out there in radio world, if someone wants to record what you just heard, this is an APB. It's a very unusual setup. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We'll look forward to hearing your stuff when it's time in the fall.
When it's time.
All right. So, okay. We want to let you know that you're listening to WMSE 91.7 FM. We are Frontier Radio, live and listener-supported broadcast of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. It's 48 degrees. Here in Milwaukee, mostly cloudy. Tonight, a low of 40. And tomorrow, sunny with a high of 47.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we want to thank everybody for tuning into tonight's edition of Local Live on WMSE, where it is still spring. Local Live is a production of WMSE Radio, recorded and broadcast live from the Bob and Genie Friedman Live Performance Studio on the downtown campus of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. Local Live is produced by Erin and myself and engineered by Billy Cicerelli. Video by Moleskin Productions. Hospitality for local live artists provided by Cedar Teeth Pizza, who can be found online at cedarteeth.com. Anodyne Coffee, who can be found online at anodynecoffee.com. And by Sprecher Brewing Company, more information at spreckerbrewery.com. For upcoming guests and archives of past local live performances, visit wmse.org and tune in again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. or come down to Club Garibaldi for our final live audience taping at Club Garibaldi. Special guest Buffalo Gospel. They are off the triumphant Field Report shows over the weekend, and they've got a new album coming out, and they're awesome, and we hope you'll join us.
Yeah, we'll see you there, everybody.